What is up guys, it's Kavar here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how I achieve dewy foundation. To get started, I'm going to be priming my face with the Purity Moisturizer, and I love this moisturizer because it's just going to make sure that we have the perfect dewy base before we apply our foundation, and it's just perfect because it just makes sure that your foundation looks glowy all day. Next, we're going to move on to the MAC Strobe Cream in the shade Goldlite. I just take that and just apply that with a brush all over my face, and I like to apply this on the high points of my face, so that's the upper parts of my cheek, around my forehead, around my nose, just pretty much anywhere where I feel like light would hit naturally. And yeah. Next, I'm going to be moving on to foundation, and for that I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty foundation in the shade 385. This is pretty much like the perfect shade for me. I just love the way it oxidizes. It looks really natural, and it's really hydrating. I really love this foundation because it's really lightweight, and I just love the way it blends out and just gives me that really dewy skin effect in conjunction with the other beauty products that we use underneath. When applying foundation, I don't really like to take my foundation and put it in the center of my face. I usually just take it around the perimeter and just anywhere where I feel like I see any blemishes or dark spots, just to even out my skin tone. Next, we're going to be moving on to contour, and for that I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty Matchstick in the shade Truffle, and I'm just taking that underneath my cheekbones and where I naturally see the contours of my face, and I just like to draw that on, and I also just like to take it just a little bit down the sides of kind of like my cheek and on the upper corners of my brows, just to give my face a bit of a lift. Now moving on to nose contour, I like to take my Huda Beauty detailing and contouring brush just to really define my nose, and how I like to do it is just to take the contour from the very top of my brow and just slide it and glide it down the sides of my nose, just to make my nose just look a tad bit narrower. And as I said, we did apply foundation to the nose at this time, so what I'm just doing is just bringing that dimension back that I normally do have without contour back into my face, and I'm just going to use the opposite side just to blend everything in seamlessly. And you also want to make sure that you blend it straight into your brows as well, and this tool is honestly just the perfect brush for that. Now whenever I contour, I love to make sure that I'm using this brush and I'm just flicking the contour up in an upward motion so that it just blends in with the rest of the foundation really nicely. And what I love is that it's just a really nice creamy finish, so it just gives a really nice dewy skin finish effect without looking too harsh, which is what I really love about this product. Now moving on to concealer, we're going to be using the MAC Pro Longwear in the shade NC42, and what I love to do is just to take my Sephora number 71 brush and just glide it down the sides of my nose, and just focus the concealer on the inner corners of my eyes, and also take it on the very sides just to swipe them up. And again, like we did with the contour, we want to make sure that we're doing everything in an upward motion to give our face a really nice lift. This concealer is perfect for the particular look that we're doing because it just gives a really nice skin-like finish, and it's just so easy to use and glides so perfectly. Next, I just like to take a Morphe beauty sponge and just blend everything together. So we're just going to be blending all of the contour, all of the foundation, all in one, just to make everything look really, really seamless. Now, with the concealer, I'm just going to take that and apply it where we previously applied the contour. And this is just going to help the contour just give a little bit more of a pop. And I'm just going to lightly just tap that in and blend that in with the rest of my foundation. Moving on to powder bronzer, I'm going to be using today the Charlotte Tilbury in the shade 210, and I'm just going to be mixing that with the Dior Backstage in the shade 7 Neutral. With my Fenty Beauty brush, I like to take the powders and just place it on the perimeter of my face and just anywhere where I previously had applied my contour, and just give my face a nice bronze. For highlight, I'm going to be using today the Makeup by Mario, and I really love this highlight because it's very, very subtle, and I love the way it just sits on the skin. It just doesn't give you anything that looks too beaming. It's really nice and subtle for the look that we're going for. Now to set my concealer, I'm going to be going in with the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shades Dark Golden and Dark. These shades are just slightly lighter than my under eye, and what that's going to do is just give me that nice brightness that I'm looking for. Now I don't usually bake my under eye concealer. What I like to do is take my concealer brush and lightly press the product in to any areas where I previously applied concealer. For blush, I'm going to be going in with the Pat McGrath in the shade Desert Orchid. I really like this shade, however the pearlescents in it are very, very reflective, so it can give off almost kind of like more of a glow than an actual blush. As you can see, it doesn't really pack that much of a punch, but in terms of the color, I did like it. And if you want something a little bit more subtle and neutral, this is definitely the blush for you. Moving on to brows, I'm going to be using my Anastasia Brow Freeze, and I'm just going to take my spoolie with that and fully saturate my brows. And right after that, I'm just going to take the spoolie and comb my brows into an upward direction just to make sure that they're really fluffy and giving almost a sort of wolfy kind of effect, so that I can really see any sparse areas when I'm ready to go in with my brow pencils to fill them. To fill my brows, I'm going to be going in with the Benefit Brow Pencil in the shade Black, and how I like to do this is basically take the pencil and align it with the sides of my nose and create a bit of a flick just to indicate for myself where my brow should start naturally. And I would just take the pencil and do bits of upward flicks and just fill my brows in just very lightly so that they look really natural and nothing is looking too harsh. Now moving on to body, I'm going to be giving my skin a really nice bronze with the Body Sauce by Fenty Beauty in the shade Fly Mamacita. I'm just going to be applying that to my décolletage and my arms, just to even my skin and just give it a really nice bronzy glow. Now just to add a little extra glow, I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty Body Lava in the shade Trophy Wife and apply it in the exact same areas just to give my skin that extra glow and shine. Alright guys, thanks for watching. That's my dewy foundation routine. If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.